before the fall, before the shame, before the fruit. There was a perfect garden, a home created for humanity to live in harmony with God. But inside this paradise, a choice was waiting, a choice that would change the entire story of the world. Today you will see how Adam and Eve lived in Eden, how they received freedom, purpose, and limits, and how one single decision opened the path to what we call the original sin. This story is not only about a forbidden fruit, it is about trust, obedience, and consequences. In the beginning, God formed Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Adam opened his eyes before a perfect world, and God placed him in a special place, the Garden of Eden. Eden was more than beauty. It was order, life, and the presence of God. Rivers flowed through the garden, trees bore fruit without effort, and at the center stood two trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam a clear and simple command. You may eat from every tree in the garden, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, do not eat. For in the day you eat of it, you will surely die. Adam received responsibility to work the garden, to care for it, to protect it. But God said it was not good for the man to be alone. So he caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep and formed Eve from his side. When Adam saw her, he said, "This is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Together, the two became one. They lived without shame, without fear, without guilt. Nothing hidden, nothing broken. But in the garden, there was also the serpent, cunning, observant, and it approached Eve with a question that would change everything. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Eve answered, "We may eat from all the trees, except that one, the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden. We must not touch it, or we will die." The serpent replied, "You will not die. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like him, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit. It looked good. It looked pleasing to the eye and desirable for gaining wisdom. She took it and ate it, and she gave it to Adam, and he ate it too. In that moment, their eyes were opened. But they did not find wisdom. They found shame. They realized they were naked and tried to cover themselves with leaves. When God came into the garden, Adam and Eve hid, something they had never done before. God called, "Adam, where are you?" Adam replied, "I heard your voice, and I was afraid." Then God revealed the consequences of their choice. The serpent would be cursed. Childbirth would have pain. The ground would produce thorns. Work would require effort, and the human body would return to dust. Adam and Eve were sent out of Eden, not out of vengeance, but so they would not eat from the tree of life and live forever in a broken condition. God placed cherubim and a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life. The garden remained, but it was no longer accessible to humanity. Today you saw how Adam and Eve were created in purity and freedom, how they received limits for their own good, how the serpent introduced doubt, and how disobedience opened the door to shame and separation. The fall was not only an action, it was a decision that changed the relationship between God and humanity. We will tell the stories of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Join us on this epic journey full of faith and emotion. Leave a like and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.